Kia ora e te whānau. So we're back and I've put in a little few pieces of ephemera because there's not much I can show you about that. It's just things that fit. So if it fitted, it went in there. I threw this extra page in here because I found it and I thought it was really cute. It's from a little Holly Hobby book and I thought the browns matched it quite nicely. You won't have the same ephemera as me either, so that's not going to be very helpful. I did stick that fabric pocket on and it's just got a little trim. It's just fabric. I use double-sided adhesive to stick the fabric on, and I usually always put just a little bit of card on the base before I put the fabric onto the card because I like how that strengthens the pocket a little bit. I have made this to put in. I'm going to pop that there. So that's just a running stitch and I've just alternated them. So I am just going to be doing a little bit of gluing, so most of this video will probably just be in silence and fast forwarded for you. So I have just got a piece of, I cut the piece of denim, I put the slow stitching through it, I then stuck these little pieces of cotton trim, glued them underneath the denim, and then I've just put a little bit of card on the back just to make it a little bit more secure and give it a little bit more rigidity. Is that a word? Not entirely sure it is. Might have just made one up. And then that's just going to make a cute little belly band. So we'll just stick that on there. I put the card there for two reasons though. Also because I didn't want anything to get stuck on those stitches as it gets slid in and out. I thought that could make it quite difficult to get things into the pocket if I didn't cover those stitches up on that side. So there you go, you got a cute little belly band in there now. So I've just got to find where I have put these guys because that's where I have got some work to do. I've got a piece of tissue that I found there that I thought matched this journal perfectly, and that's I'm going to stick that on there as well. I'll just move this to one side for a second. There's more in there. That's honestly, when I'm doing a come make a whole journal with me from start to finish, that really is how I work. I'll just find things. I'll start off with my base signatures, but I'll just come across things and think, oh yes, that could go in there, and oh, that would look great in that pocket, and oh, wouldn't it be cool if I made a belly band out of some denim. It is an ever-evolving organic beast. So this one here, I've just got to decide whether I actually want to make this a pocket as well as some writing space, and I might. So I'm just going to put a little divot circle in there. Hopefully this will go through all right. It seems to like some papers and not others. Oh good, it did like that one. So while I'm just gluing and sticking, because literally that's what I'm doing, we've made corner clusters before. I can't even remember if this was one of the clusters I made with you guys or one that I made from the leftover bits that I had, but you've seen me make them. While I'm just gluing and sticking, I thought I would mention I have received, and I'm so excited, quite a few little photos of little projects people have been doing based on this series, and I've got to say every single one of the photos that I have got are absolutely gorgeous and all in their own right and for different reasons. So feel free, please do, if you made something from this, I would love to show everyone else who's following it your creations and your spin on it. Obviously I don't want it to or expect it to be exactly the same as mine. That'd be quite boring, wouldn't it, if you were just using the exact same papers and colours and everything. So the fact that they're all really different, and some are brightly coloured and some have done a modification on the idea, just fantastic. That's exactly what I wanted, because the more I can get like that, the more ideas will be able to share with other people. So yeah, I'll definitely be showing them all. So please don't be scared of sending me something thinking, oh no, that's not up to scratch, or that's not my best work. Honestly, I will think it's amazing regardless. Remember, I'm a art teacher at a high school. The last thing I'm ever going to do is tell someone or think someone's work isn't any good. In fact, I tell my students, so this is just a bit of craft and chat basically, because you don't need me to explain how to glue things on. I often say to my students, if I hear you judging anybody else's work or putting it down, I will come over and I will judge your work. And pretty quickly they realise and decide they're not going to say anything about anyone else's work. Because I say, do you have a design degree? No. Do I have a design degree? Yes. Do you hear me judging or saying anything bad about anybody's work ever? No, Miss A. That's right. So if I don't do it, I don't want to hear you doing it either. Okay, Miss A. My students are absolutely awesome for things like that. Don't know where that extra came from, and now it's stuck to my finger. Story of my... Look, it just won't come off. Oh, do I cut this out or do I just leave it in? Oh my gosh, you guys know what this is like, I'm sure. Right, got it. Oh, everything happens when you're on camera. Now, I know I've put that divot in there, but there's no reason why that can't go there, and it can be a little secret pocket, right? Just need to make sure that if I put any glue on there, we know it's there. That's all that matters. And I'll probably have something that's slightly sticking out anyway, so that you can grab it, but also so that you can see that there's something in there. So you go, there's another little page. Not a lot to it, but it's a cute little writing spot, right? Over here, I was just considering leaving that completely for writing space, but I was just going to put a little trim on. And usually what I do when I am putting my little trims and bits and pieces on is I just turn the journal to the side so that I can see, you know, the spine, the innards coming out, and I kind of try to space them somewhat evenly so you can see where another piece of trim goes. If you've got 3 pieces of trim in the first signature sticking out the sides, then obviously your next 2 signatures need a little something just to even them up a little bit, I think. We'll have a look at my one in just a second. Oh, that's way too big. There's heaps I'm going to have to cut off that. It's alright. Chop him off there. So if I close this and remember where it went, I think it was just in there. There's the rest of it. So if I turn her on her side, and I've got a trim here and a trim here, see how I've put another trim in here, and I believe there's already something little there, but I could, you've got your baking paper trim there, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and there might just need to be something up here, and then it's just kind of evenly spaced. I don't have to put one there, I can live without it, but I'm happy that I haven't got 3 trims up here and then nothing at the back, if that makes sense. So I try to spread them out as best I can. I shall just, and I am going to put this journal up for adoption too. There's another trim I was just going to put onto the eco paper, because why not? I don't keep my journals, and I've got to say pretty much it's because I enjoy the making of them and other people enjoying them more than I do them sitting on my shelf staring at me. And to be fair, when I make a journal for myself, it is not going to be pretty like this. I only make pretty ones like this for other people. Mine is going to be a higgledy-piggledy mess. And the reason for that is because my special box of goodies, that when I get happy mails and things, I save a little bit of everything, so that I can not feel so bad about putting them, the rest of it, into journals, are all different colours, and the letters that people have given me to go with the happy mails that I want to put into that journal as well. They're all different colours, so they're not going to be one colour journal like I like doing these. So I've just put some ephemera in there as well. Oh, didn't you have a little... Now, wait, what was I going to put that? That way, I think. So yeah, it's funny that the journals I enjoy making have a theme, but the journal I make myself will actually be a junk journal of collection of bits and pieces, so it's not going to be coordinated at all. The journals I've made for people have always been like this, and the journals that I put up for sale, or I like to say adoption, because I like my babies by the time I've finished with them. They've got so much of me in them. There you go. So that with the tissue paper, I think that's enough. And I think I'm pretty happy with that signature. I'm fine with that because you've got some interest on that page from the stenciling. So we are going to call that signature done. Right, next signature. Yeah, this still makes me laugh that I thought this was going to be a one signature journal. We should have known that I was never going to be able to do that. And it was great, honestly. Oh God, I said I'm not going to do any talking. I'm waffling all the way through it. That's all right. You could have put me on mute. I found this quite helpful doing this series because everything I did something new that I would usually maybe do a tutorial on, I ended up putting it in here, basically doing the tutorial. So that meant that she got bigger and bigger and bigger, which was okay. Now, I was just going to stick that flat to the page. You could tape it up there so that it could be a flip, but I'm quite happy for this just to be a writing spot page. So yeah, she just got bigger and bigger and bigger, and now look at her. There's no possible way she would have fitted into that cover. I had considered maybe though putting the cover into the inside of the book. I've never done that before, but because I did basically choose that book for this, I was considering it so that while that dries, if I got enough of the journal that filled this, so it's almost one signature, I could stitch this into the actual cover signature here and here, as well as the signature through here, and then through the outside cover and back in as well, so that as you're flipping through the journal, you will actually come across this bookshell. Let me know what you think about that. I mean, it's not necessary, I just want to use that book. It's what I got it for. It was meant to be for this journal. I'm quite cut up about the fact that I haven't. Oh yeah, on another note, mass making. Does anyone, who mass makes? I understand, and I can make like book page bases of, like, you know, when you saw my wonky pocket pages, that I can do. But when people, like even some of the bigger YouTubers, and don't get me wrong, I admire this greatly, they make like finished clusters and they've got like a whole box of them. And I can't do that, because every single journal that I make, like if it has a theme, or I'm going to put that sideways. I know it was hanging down, but I like it better like that. If it's got a theme, I can't, and it's usually got a colour as well when it comes to my journals, I can't bring myself just to throw something in that doesn't match. I've tried it, don't get me wrong, I've made masterboards and I haven't used any of them. It was a complete waste of time. They're still sitting in my drawer doing nothing. So yeah, let me know if you guys are on that bandwagon. I'd be really interested to know. Maybe it's just the way I make journals that makes that impossible. Okay, so that's my waffling done. You can mute me now, and unless there's something that I actually need to explain or show you, I'm just going to do this in silence. Sorry about the camera shake. We are plugged in and charging, so every time I knock that cord, oh my goodness, I think we're done. I think it's time to make the cover. Okay, so the next time you see me, because you saw me flipping through that, and I think, yes, there's a couple of blank pages, but they're either pages of interest or they've got something on them. The next time you see me, I'm just going to add the extra ephemera so I know how big to make the cover. But yeah, the next time you see me on Come Make a Journal, we are going to be making a cover. Now, I do already have a tutorial on how I make my covers, so I will pop that in the link of the next video so that I don't have to bore you with the double-sided taping, etc, etc. And then basically we will be decorating the front of the album, and I haven't even decided what I'm going to do there yet. That will have to see. This is, yeah, I'm happy with this. Once the bits and pieces are filled, I'm more than happy with how full she is. I don't like coming across like multiple blank pages. See, look at that. So I hold her like that. I'll give her a little bit of, just a little bit of a squish once I've got the extra ephemera in there, and then I will measure from front to back with her flat, not like that because I don't want to crocodile her, and then I'll know how wide I want my spine. And that window one, I'm just going to put at the back like that. It'll have to be sewn in as a signature all on its own, so that it doesn't stick out a mile, because if I put it in any of the other signatures, it sticks out like here. Don't ask me why, I don't know. And then I've just got to decide which one I want you to be seen as soon as you open the journal. And usually I'll base that on whatever I covered the inside of the journal with. If I covered it with something that goes with this signature, then I'll use that. There is maybe a little bit of shuffling around of the signatures I might do as well. There was a page in particular I'm not happy about how those two look together, so I would swap this out and put it somewhere else. I'm fine for it to be the center of the signature, I like that, but I want to move this. Happier with that because you just got a little hint of the blues with that there. So then that would go like that. Yeah, I'm happier with that. But yeah, just little shuffling around things like that, which I can't really explain any method to my madness. Okay, so that was, come on, Sara-Lee, that was never ever going to be the cover for the journal. Don't kid yourself. All right, my lovelies. Well, have fun finishing off your pages just by adding some trims and maybe some extra writing space that has a little bit of pretty paper behind it. And until next time, when we are embellishing a cover, and I have decided what I'm going to do with the fabric. I have got some pretty blue fabric. See how that goes. Mā te wā.